Hi there, I'm Ryan Molstar, producer of Foresight. I'm going to show you how I used After Effects to remove that shakiness that you find within some clips. So here we go, I play the clip and as you can see it's very shaky, very all over the place, and I just try and show you how to straighten that up so it isn't so shaky and so it's more accessible shot. So I'll close it up, I'll close my files down, and here we go, I'm going to open up After Effects, and it takes a while to load, so I'll just fast forward this bit. So now that After Effects is now loaded, I'm going to double click this little box in the left hand corner to import a file. Once the files have popped up, find the file that you need. So I labelled the shaky images under walk, so I'm going to double click there, and here it is. So I'm going to drag it into this tiny little box. It's basically got film strips on the side with little shapes in the middle, so once I've dropped it into there, you can create a new composition of the scale that was of the file, so it's a lot easier to work with because it's straight to the point. So I only need this as a 4-second shot really, so once I've got that in the right position, I can analyse the footage, and you can see there it's pretty shaky. So now after it's analysed, I'm going to smallen up the work area so it works quicker. Right, basically, to do this you need it to track the motion. So you need to go under Window and make sure the track box is ticked. Once that's ticked, it will come up over here on the right if you're using the default settings, and this basically is used to track the motion of a certain point on the shot, and in effect hopefully it should stabilise the image. So I'll show you what I mean. You want to hit stabilise motion. So after you've hit stabilise motion, this little box should come up here. This box here basically will track the motion of a certain area within the footage, and you want to put it in a nice specific area within the horizon. In this case, my best option would probably be over here in this house here. You want it quite small so that it doesn't go all over the place, because if it's too big it will just go everywhere, and obviously you need it to stay in one point. So preferably you want to aim it in a corner of something that's quite specific. On a normal horizon it would be quite easy because you can just put it on and it will stay on the horizon, whereas in an image like this it's quite hard because you've got houses everywhere and stuff like that. It just doesn't pick it up too well. But after that, after you've placed the tracker, I'm going to make this bit a little bit smaller. Right, so after you've done that you want to hit analyse. This at the bottom right here, it's like a play forward button. So as you can see it's staying in one point consistently, and obviously it's placed it all there. After you've done that, you want to hit apply. So after you've hit apply, you want to apply it to the X and Y dimensions. It's basically where that's tracked all those positions, up, down, left, right, all the camera shake. Now the image will go wherever that point goes. So I click OK, and if I go to the very start, click play, you can see the image is very stable now, but obviously you get the camera, it's going all over the place. You're getting all the trem lines, it isn't looking too good. To sort that out, you want to add a camera layer. So to do that you've got to make this 3D as a 3D dimension, which you tick in this little box here. It's like a 3D cube. You click that one and it should pop up straight as a 3D dimension. And then you go layer, new, camera, and for this you want to use a 35mm, and for that I'm just going to call it stable. So after I've done that I'm going to click OK. So now the camera's in, basically that sets up another perspective, and you always have to set it up as a 3D layer that's underneath because cameras only work with the 3D layers. But basically to make this more understandable I'm going to put it in 4 views. This will make it a lot more easy to work with. So when I hit play you can still see in the top right that it's moving all over the place, not going too well. Yep. Right, so I'm going to start from the very beginning And basically all you have to keep doing is just adjust the camera to make it fit in the right areas. So for this, I'm going to zoom in with the Z axis, so it's going to bring it a lot closer, and straight away you should see that the lines don't appear. Sometimes it will still appear and you have to move it here and there. You can move it to the X and Y axis, so basically up or down if you're getting trem lines at the top or bottom, but in this case it's pretty much just zoomed in, which has cured the problem. So there we go. But sometimes if it's zoomed in too close, it'll be too pixelated and just will look horrible, so make sure that you can pixelate it as low as you can. So after that's done, I'll put it back into one view, start from the beginning, zoom in a bit so it looks a bit better, hit play just to check that it's alright, and as you can see there's still a little bit of CameraShake still there, but it's in vast comparison to the previous image, which is a lot shaky. So after you've done that, you're going to make sure the work areas in the right time period for your shot. After you've done that, you want to hit the composition walk, and then you want to drag it into the render queue. This will bring it into here. You want to make sure the output file's set to where you want it saved. So I want it saved in film. I'll name it under 8. Yeah, walk 8. So I'll click save. I did quite a lot of these just to make sure I'd get the right one. So after it's in the render queue, when you hit render, it will render through. And now it's rendered. So let me close this. When you open it up in documents, and when you play it in a media player, it can be laggy, but this is because when you save it isn't in the best media file. To put it in a good media player file, you might have to put it under MPEG 2, but that isn't too great for editing. So now that I've done that, I want to open up Premiere Pro. I've now opened Premiere Pro, and I've opened up the sequence of the theatrical trailer that I want to import it to. So I'm just going to double click here. I labelled it as Walk 8, so I'm going to double click here. It's just going to import the file. I'm going to drag it on. I'm just going to hit enter to render. So now that it's done rendering, here it is. I'll click play. If you see it, I'll make this bit bigger so you can see it. Right, when I hit play, it should be smooth. There we go, you can see it's a lot, there's a little bit of CameraShake, but it's a hell of a lot better than how it was. This is how it was, cameras all over the place. When you watch it in here, it's pretty nice and smooth. So yeah, that was it on how to track the motion and make sure that your shots are nice and straight.